The CGA Tour, a podcast unlike any other. Now your host, Calvin Alexander.
Hey Cowboy fans, today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow poke helping you protect what matters most.
And welcome back to the latest episode of the CGA, the Calvin Glenn Alexander Tour podcast. We are live here, clearly, as you can tell, recapping the latest episode of the Oklahoma State basketball season. I should say latest game, but tonight felt like more of an episode. It was out of a dream. I all hope it's not a nightmare. Hopefully, Parsifala is okay. He didn't get injured too bad. A non-contact injury always makes me a little weary. But I am joined tonight by my fellow Oklahoma State alum and fellow athlete, I will say here, in Alexi Bollwerk. Alexi, how goes it?
Calvin, what's going on, man? It has been way too long since we're on here, but I'm excited. This should be a fun episode. College basketball is back. Hopefully, Oklahoma State basketball is really back because that was a fun game, and I can't wait to talk about it.
I mean, 100-plus points in a game. What else can you ask for? You've got a team shooting 50% from the three-point line and barely pulling out the game due to some I don't even know what to call it kind of play. Alexi, what did you take away from tonight's game against the University of South Florida? Central Florida is this weekend. South Florida is for the moment. What'd you think?
I mean, from the beginning, the offense, incredible tonight. Putting up 103 points. Not only 103 points, Calvin, but 59 points in the second half. So this was a team who started a little bit slow. They were down by 12, actually, going what it looked like going into the second half, but they kicked on a switch before the end of the first half, ended up scoring 59 in the second half. Just all around, great win, good offensive performance. And what really impressed me was the depth of this team tonight. Guys came off the bench and performed very well, specifically Anthony Roy, who hasn't started. They've been trying to ease him back in, but 15 points tonight off the bench. Really good showing from him. When you have so many players who come off the bench and make an impact on that game, it's awesome. So I love to see what this offense has. And then when they went down big by 12 points in the first half, the way they came back from that, very, very encouraging.
Real quick here, just Parsifala, our starting center, goes down at the end. What did you make of that kind of injury? Do you think that's big? Do you think that's small? He was able to walk off there. What did you think overall?
Yeah, what a fluky thing to happen at the end of the game there. I was wondering, I'm like, did he hurt himself before the free throw? Did it happen at some point in the game and then it finally caught up to him? I wasn't sure. But they showed the replay, and you're like, what the heck happened? So, yeah, hopefully it was just some weird kind of thing that he just stubbed himself and it's just needed to walk it off a little bit because he's been making a huge impact for us too on the offensive side and on the defensive side. So hopefully it was just a slight injury and hopefully it's nothing serious, but you would hate to lose him off something so stupid like that.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, I don't want to say garbage time because, I mean, the final score of the game, USF still covered, granted by like half a point. But the spread was 8.5 points here going throughout the game. And USF, I mean, again, covers. They're now 3-2 on the season. But Oklahoma State, 5-0, 103 points in a game that's only 40 minutes long. What was your biggest takeaway from tonight's game?
Biggest takeaway, I mean, if we're going to go from a player standpoint, I think this I'm going to get to him later. Victorious Miller. What a showing that guy's had this year. I mean, sophomore, believe he transferred from LSU. So he's, just his second year. He's been the guy, man. He's been putting up points as we go. 24 tonight, 100% from the three-point line, so he didn't miss a shot from there. He had 30 in another game, 15 against A&M, 21 against Oral Roberts. He's currently averaging 19.8 points a game. Really, really love what I'm seeing from him. So that's one of my biggest takeaways. And then from a coaching standpoint, look at Steve Lutz. This guy he knows how to win. And yes, it's still early. Wait till we get in Big 12 play if you want to be patient. But man, you can just tell from last year to this year, one, the talent that he brought in. These are not just some guys that he found on the street. Oh, what can you guys play this year? No, this is a much, much improved team who has talent, and they're going to win some big games in the Big 12 this year. This team's going to finish, in my opinion, top 6 or 7 in the Big 12 this year. I think they're that good of a team and a really good Big 12. So what I've seen from Steve Lutz as well, X's and O's and how he has his team ready to play, 100% love it. I'm all bought in on this team right now.
Yeah, I got to say, I mean, scoring 100 points, it happened once last season against the UCF, scoring triple digits or more. Did not happen during the Cade Cunningham season at all. And also didn't happen when we played like Cleveland State and went to overtime just a couple of years ago. So this to me is I don't want to be too hyperbolic. I want to keep my emotions in check. But it's really hard right now because this team seems like we can play up to any opponent we need to. Granted, that also means that we kind of get a little bit lulled to sleep here because this USF team, we were 50% from the free throw stripe at halftime. Don't love that. Christian Coleman making 3 of 7 from the stripe at halftime. Glad he's getting to the line and shooting some free throws, but then again, gotta make more than 3 out of 7 going into half. But our three-point shooting, that is what I'm going to take away from tonight. That is incredible. 50% from 3. That's how you get 100-plus points in a game, right?
100%. And that's what have we been missing these last few years was three-point shooting. We could never find a guy or multiple guys to make the big shot when we needed it. And look what happened tonight. Time after time, these guys hit big-time three-pointers. And it wasn't just one guy. There was multiple guys doing it. Even this guy from Greece. Love to see this guy. Freshman, 22 years old. Lefterius Matsoukas. Great pickup. He looked really good too. 8 points tonight. May not look great, but on the stat sheet, he made his three-pointers. He was 2 for 3, got a couple rebounds. He had a couple key plays in that game. Love to see what I'm seeing. I love to see him making an impact on this team as well. But yeah, there's just all-around guys who are making big plays, and I love it.
Well, feel free if you're watching this with us here and kind of recapping to give us a comment and ask any questions you have. My biggest question to you, though, Lexi, is you said top half of the Big 12, 6th to 7th kind of team rankings. Does that mean you think we're going to the tournament?
Again, very early. Like you said, I don't want to get too crazy and ahead of myself, but I really do believe it. I think as the year goes along, this team can only get better. Of course, we have to hope there's no major injuries and, there's some luck you need at times during the season, but I think from what I'm seeing early on, when I actually watch the game, I know we're not playing the world beaters of the world. We're not playing a UConn or an Arizona yet. But once we are in Big 12 play, we will be playing those teams. And that's going to only prepare us better for when we get to the tournament. And yes, I think we're going to be that good of a team that we will make the tournament this year as an at-large team. So, yes. And here's the thing, too, that we have to point out is – this Oklahoma State team is getting a lot of credit from big names in college basketball. We've seen some reporters say stuff like John Rothstein. He's a big-time national college basketball guy. Fran, I know we have some big fans over here of Fran Fraschilla. He's been talking a lot of good things about Oklahoma State. So it's not like we're just noticing this as, Oklahoma State fans. There's national guys noticing this too. And a site that I usually like to refer to, it's called Bartorvik. It usually analyzes like stats for offense, defense, and just all around. They right now currently have Oklahoma State rated as the 44th rated team in the country, which tells me again, this team is not just a team that we think is good. I think they actually are good.
A guy can only dream after so many years of being promised NCAA tournament appearances and getting top recruiting classes that this would be the year without a top true recruiting class. I mean, this is not a year that you and I were talking about, hey, deep tournament run or hey, tournament run or even get to the tournament. We were really kind of curious if this would be how it worked out. So it's impressive to see the team play and be 5-0 already, have a lot of good moments so far. But when it comes down to it, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I'm trying to take a breather. Take a step back. But when it gets down to it, do you think we are in like what tier of Big 12 teams? I mean, I don't think we're in the KU, and I mean, we clearly don't have a top 3 draft pick on the roster. But where do you think we're at overall in kind of comparison to other Big 12 teams?
Yeah, good question. So obviously, you've got the Houston, you've got BYU, you've got Arizona. Not to get too ahead of ourselves, but Arizona had a nice win tonight on the road against UConn. So that should tell you how good this Big 12 year should be. But I mean, if you're looking at it from just after those 3 teams, you've got Iowa State, of course, and you've got Texas Tech. And then honestly, I think after those teams, you could say it's anywhere. Like, honestly, I think Kansas is good. I don't think they're going to be the same Kansas team that we've seen in previous years. I think they're going to have a little bit of roadblocks at times. I've watched them play. I'm not too impressed, but it's a long season. But honestly, I think after those 5 teams, I think after Arizona, Houston, Iowa State, BYU, Texas Tech, I think it could really be any team from like 6 to 12. And I think Oklahoma State kind of fits in that range. So I think they're among those, like between 6 and 12 is what I would say as in those areas. So I would compare them to like Kansas, Baylor. Who else would I throw in there who's supposed to be good? West Virginia is supposed to be sneaky too. So I think they probably fall in around that range.
Yeah, I mean, KU, you're right. They've lost 2 games so far this year. It looks weird in a win-loss column. Oklahoma State, how much worse could we be than KU? The KU's 3-2. We're 5-0. But you know what? It's a pretty sick deal to be 5-0 when KU has of course played North Carolina and Duke. Those are their 2 losses. So it's not crazy for me to think that, hey, you know what? Maybe they need a little bit more help in the scheduling factor to be also 5-0. But putting us with some of those tiers is dangerous. Dangerous, when we're looking down at like, hey, let's see how we do against Northwestern coming up here in a week from tomorrow, and let's see how we do against OU December 13th. Ken Palm's got us currently like 50th in the nation. That's very, very good if you want to be top 64 or 68 in the nation by the end of the season. What has surprised you most? Like, which player or kind of playing style? What surprised you most about the team this season?
Well, like you said, coming into the season, I didn't know what to expect. When you bring in a transfer class like we did, there's a lot of question marks. How will they gel together? Who's going to make, the impact? Who's going to be your leading scorer? My biggest surprise has been Victorious Miller. I mean, I said that at the beginning where I think he's been awesome to watch. But as a freshman last year, I think he averaged like 8 or 9 points for LSU in a really good conference for the SEC. And I mean, he's taken it, man. He's pretty much led the team in about every game in points, as I was telling you earlier. So that's really surprised me as a guy in the transfer portal that we acquired. The other guy who I've really liked to watch is this Christian Coleman guy from UAB. He's made a nice impact. Big man down low, plays nice defense, also gets some nice shots down low and can get to the rim. I think he's been a great addition too. So it just seems like all together, like Lutz brought in a great group, guys who can shoot threes, guys who can make plays on defense, guys who can play in transition, just all around. I mean, I know we haven't played all these great Big 12 teams yet, but still it's very early. And when you see this kind of stuff, I don't know if it's because I've watched so much bad basketball these last 5 years, but I don't think it's that though. I think when you seriously look at it all together, these teams that we've had in the past and this team, there's just so much talent here. And that's what gets me really excited.
Yeah, I keep trying to kind of temper expectations, but if they're running wild, I'm thinking at least kind of top 8 seed in March Madness. I think an 8-9 seed is somewhere in our realm right now. And it really comes to the factor that like tonight we were inconsistent. We did not look great. But then we put up 100 plus points. I'm like, well, how bad can we be? So I don't know. This did not look like the same team that played Texas A&M. This was not the same kind of fashion. This was more of a, hey, we look pretty good, we look kind of great, but like there's a lot to improve on. And then also you're looking down and you're like, wait, we scored 103? Wait, we shot 50% from three and we still didn't play that great? Seems tough. But I do love that we have an offense that just is all about transition. Like we are just getting out there. You don't score 100 plus and the other team scored 90 plus without just being a fast-paced team that is quick. It seems like Lutz getting his guys in this year has made a huge difference compared to last year. I do want to talk a little about South Florida here as well, kind of going to the Big 12. What has surprised you most about Big 12 maybe this season so far? Is it Oklahoma State? Is it another team that's kind of really gotten your radar? What's been going on so far?
Well, I was actually looking at that earlier today, and I was really impressed with Arizona. I mean, today, like I told you at the beginning, they just knocked off UConn on the road. So winning a game like that, but not only that, Calvin, they beat UCLA on Friday. And in the first game of the season, they beat Florida, who is supposed to be, a top 5 type team again. I think they're a little overrated actually from last year, but because they lost so much talent. But overall, still, that's a good win, especially in your first game of the year. So Arizona has looked really strong. And again, that just kind of shows you how good the Big 12 is. I haven't even talked about Houston. Houston's in there too. Again, with Calvin Sampson, that guy's an incredible coach. Just continues to do it every year after year. But Arizona probably has been my most surprising team to be as good as they've been because they've just looked incredible, and they have the wins to show for it too.
Well, let's talk about the Big 12 a little bit more then. Has your favorite team in the Big 12 switched from the start of the season until now that we're 5 games in, or is it the same team?
5 games in. I mean, looking at it, I still always respect Texas Tech. Texas Tech's always been a team who I'm pretty much high on going into the season. Same with Iowa State. Like I feel like you're getting pretty much consistency with those two teams year after year. I guess another team that I would be, if I was not going to say either of those teams, I'm curious. I really am curious about this Kansas team because they've had 2 tough games, and those 2 tough games they lost. They lost by 13 in North Carolina. They lost by 12 to Duke. So is this Kansas team kind of like last year where we saw them really struggle in the Big 12, especially on the road? This team just could not win on the road, and there was games where they just got blown out. So Kansas is probably one of my most concerning teams. The talent will obviously be there because of what Bill Self brought in. But I think there's some concern. I mean, how good can this Kansas team be, especially after last year with what we saw? So I think that's going to be a big question mark is how does Kansas do in the Big 12? Because this is a tough Big 12 that they're going to be going into.
Yeah, all right. Well, I want to ask you like 2 more Big 12 questions here about basketball, and then we'll move on to Alex Golesh to kind of recap the night here and end it out. What is your favorite part of the college basketball season? Is it right now when we're having the preseason, kind of non-conference play? Is it the conference play itself? Like, what are you most looking forward to for Oklahoma State fans this season? Is it kind of the Northwestern and the weird like Grand Canyon and then the OU games, or is it more of the conference play?
Well, I will say it is tough to say this because Oklahoma State isn't really even playing in one of these tournaments, which kind of bums me out. But I love Feast Week. Feast Week is awesome because we've got games going all day. It's kind of like a preview to March Madness because you've got all these teams playing each other. There are all these tournaments. We've got the Maui. We've got games going on in Chicago, the West Coast, all over the place in the country. So you got games all day long that you can watch. I still love conference play, though. Like, once you get in conference play, you got the Big 12 going at it day after day, BYU versus Arizona, Oklahoma State versus K-State. But, yeah, those Feast Week matchups are so fun. I love it.
All right, and then before the season started till now, how much has your expectations for Oklahoma State changed? Did you think, hey, maybe March Madness, and now it's much higher? What's kind of your difference here?
I came into the season knowing we should be better, but I definitely didn't think we would look as good as we have so far. So my expectations have gone sky high, and I think a lot of it has to do with what I've seen in Lutz. I mean, I said it all last season, too. We did an off-season podcast, and I was like, I really think Steve Lutz is legit. And I think when you give him time to bring in some talent, you're going to see it. And look what's happened so far. one, he's brought in a lot of talent for this year. And two, look at his recruiting class for next year. Like, the guy is doing a really good job. So from what I'm seeing here with Lutz and everything that I'm seeing so far early in the season, yes, I think this expectation for me has gone extremely high. I expect them to be very competitive, top half of the Big 12, and make the tournament. Like, I think if all players stay healthy for the most part, things go our way at times in the Big 12, this should be a tournament team. I don't know exactly the seed they'll be, but I think this is a tournament type team here at Oklahoma State, finally in Stillwater.
All right, well, got to ask you now about the coaching deal for football, at least, because we know we got an opening there. Mike Gundy, I'm glad to know he's still alive, glad to know he's still going. He's out there on OSU hockey, kind of X and Instagram and stuff and TikTok. He's shouting out the hockey team. Love to see he's still supporting the Cowboys. It is a little interesting that that's the first public comments he makes is come to the hockey match in February.
I have a question about that. Did we get confirmation that it's real and that it wasn't like 5 years ago or something weird or like a couple months ago? Like, was that really this recent and this is the first public comment that he's made? Like, is that legit?
I'm pretty sure. And the reason why I say it is because I've been trying to track it. I've been going, okay, James Franklin puts out a statement within like 6 hours. You got Brian Kelly, even with all of his horrific stories that are coming out, he still puts out a comment within a day. Like, you've got all this type of stuff. Gundy could have recorded this a while ago, but it just popped up recently that he's on Cameo. So it seems to me that OSU Hockey figured out he's on Cameo recently, because that's when it was figured out that recently he appeared on there, and then immediately has a video put out pretty quickly. So that all seems just kind of circumstantial to be, yeah, it's all recent.
Interesting. I just saw it happen, and I was like, that's weird. That's such a weird thing to see Gundy doing as his first like public comment since being fired from Oklahoma State. But then, it's weird. It is what it is. Like, not surprised to see it on X randomly one day. So,
do you like the possibility of Alex Golesh? Do you like the possibility of Eric Morris? Do you have a leader in your mind that you want to see as a former Oklahoma State football player for a summer, before, the kicking camp kind of ended? Do you want to see, I don't know what the best way to put that is, by the way, so I don't mean to throw any shade at you. I'm just saying you were in the locker room with Gundy as the head coach. As the guy now I'm talking to, who do you want to be the next head coach for Oklahoma State football?
Man, it's been a couple months, and I still truly do not know. I mean, I really don't. I've looked at all the candidates. Nothing's been like standing out to me where I'm like, oh man, I really want this guy. We need this guy. I will say this. I'm totally out on wanting Zach Robinson. Like, I just don't think it would be a good fit. I think we need somebody who's been in college, who knows the recruiting game, who knows the NIL game. We need somebody like that. And I don't think Zach Robinson, no disrespect to him at all, but I just don't think he's ready for that right now. I would like to see him at least get some kind of coaching experience in college, because it's a different animal, man. The way college sports is now is different than what he's doing in the NFL. It's just the nature of it. So I'm completely out on that idea. I hope that that's not the way Oklahoma State pivots, and I don't think they will. But I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at Alex Golesh. It's just hard for me to get excited for him because I haven't seen him do too much at South Florida. Like, this is what, year 3, and he's 7-3. Okay. His other 2 years, he was 7-6. I guess it's somewhat okay to see some improvement in year 3, but I don't know. I guess I don't know too much about him to get too excited. And then the other one was Eric Morris from North Texas. Same kind of thing. 2023, he took over. He's what? I'm looking at his record. He's nice this year, 9-1. He looks like he's leading a good team, but I don't know. I'm not excited about either one of those guys. What I'm hoping, though, is if we get one of them, they truly come here and they want to build something at Oklahoma State. I don't want somebody to come in and be like, oh yeah, I'll be here for 3 to 4 years, and then if I'm good, I'll take the next big job. Like, I want us to find somebody that you can stay, that will want to stay here and actually build something, that wants to be here for 10 years. Because that's what we need. This is the type of job Oklahoma State has. So I don't know. To be honest, I still don't have like a true favorite in my heart.
See, I want a guy to come to Stillwater and be good through the next media entity portal buying restructuring for all the TV contracts, which is 2029. And then after that, like, hey, if Alabama wants to hire you in 2030, you probably got close to a national championship for Oklahoma State. Like, all of that to me means something good. Whenever a guy is getting hired away from Oklahoma State at this point, you got to be pretty great to get hired away because we are such a good program. I mean, we have been historically a good football program. Or, hey, you know what? 2 to 3 years in and didn't work out. Let's cut the rope. Let's be done with it and let's keep moving. Like I would love to see a Zach Robinson type of guy, but not Zach Robinson. Like if there was a former Oklahoma State player who was in the college football ranks, who was killing in NIL, that'd be the home run deal, right? That is like the creative player type of creative coach you have. That guy doesn't exist for us. We know that. Alex Golesh was formerly on Oklahoma State's campus in 2008, but Eric Morris is the guy who's kind of the offensive guru, and Golesh is not a former football player. He's a former GA, former tight ends coach. He's good, but like, has he been the offensive coordinator? He is the offensive coordinator any place he's been. He came over here from Tennessee. Before then, it's Toledo, and it's Iowa State, and he's a tight end coach and that type of stuff. So that's why I'm kind of inclined to think more about Eric Morris. He brings in Masterson, his quarterback at UNT. There's hopefully competition, or it's just Masterson's job. And all of a sudden, we are off to the races. We are rebounding instead of reloading and taking forever or a little bit or just longer than you'd want. It's, hey, we're back to a bowl game next year. Like 6 wins in the Big 12 is not too tough to say. It just isn't. Next year, we're probably going to face like the Arizona States and the TCU and the West Virginias and maybe we face Cincinnati again. But like this year, we faced, we avoided BYU and Utah. Great. Next year, we probably have one, if not both. It's kind of how the Big 12 schedule goes. This year, we face UCF. This is kind of an easier schedule than normal. But what's proven to be true is that Houston's tougher than you would think. Cincinnati, tougher than you would think. BYU and Utah, still pretty good. Texas Tech, just as good as you would think, if not way better. So what can we do next year to be looking a little bit better than we are right now and to get our first win in over a year? Like in the FBS, we just have fallen so far so quickly. I'm really reluctant to try to get a guy who builds. That's all. I would much rather that, we would be a little bit better than not. I would say I don't think UCF is easy. I don't think we're going to win this weekend. I want us to get a brand new head coach in that I do feel like we have confidence in winning. Golesh may be a great name. He may be the name floated around more prominently than other guys, especially for Oklahoma State fans because he was on the campus. But he is not the guy. Like, he is absent of the guy to me because he has not been a true OC at a college. He's been with Heupel. He followed Heupel from UCF to Tennessee, and now he's at USF, and they got the same quarterback, and all of a sudden they're winning games because they put it together a little bit better with NIL money. And we're going to take that guy. Like, it just seems like we you got to dig into the resume a little bit better. You got to dig in, dig deep, see that resume a little bit more, and do a little bit better. I did a podcast earlier today with the United Ones that comes out tomorrow, where we will learn all about Alex Golesh's tenure at USF and how it really went down. Yep. And that's a lot more information of, is he good? Is he bad? Is he okay? And that's what here you got the United Ones here. Commenting with here for everyone on YouTube. And that's really what we need to be just aware of. It's like, this is a huge next step for Oklahoma State. Cannot get this one wrong. I don't think Weiberg will. He's done great so far in every single head coaching job that he's hired. But it's going to be real bad if it doesn't go great quickly. I mean, you do not want the Oklahoma State team that only wins 3 games next year as the new head coach. It's a real sour taste in the like guy's mouths, especially if you're going to bring in guys out of the portal, which every guy who comes to Oklahoma State is going to get guys out of the portal and bring them in no matter what. He has to.
And that's something I was going to say. I'm looking at it a little bit more with Eric Morris. I think I would probably, if I had to decide between the two, Golesh and Morris, I think I would lean toward Morris. And something I like about it is he's had experience with a Big 12 team, and that's at Texas Tech. Co-offense coordinator, wide receivers coach back in 2013. He was there for quite a bit of time. So I think that's a positive is if you bring in a guy like him. Also, who's close to Texas? Oklahoma. Where does Oklahoma State like to recruit? A lot of Texas guys. So could that help that Eric Morris is familiar with that area? I think that's a good point too, is Eric Morris familiar with that Texas area, could bring some guys with him from North Texas. And I know they're in a much lesser conference right now and they're dominating, but still, when you're dominating at the level he is right now, that's pretty awesome. Like his team and his offense has been putting up tons of points this year. And that's what we need to bring back to Oklahoma State is the offense that we used to have, like the run and gun offense. Like that was a lot of fun. So I think bringing in a guy like Eric Morris would get me more excited than it would Alex Golesh, just from my perspective.
Yeah, all right. Well, any other kind of final closing thoughts as we kind of wrap this one up here tonight, Alexi, on Oklahoma State beating as the 901s has told us here, directionally challenged South Florida Cows / Bulls, whatever you want to call them. That is your prerogative. I don't want to throw a shade against a team where we might take their head coach from football a bunch because, hey, then this one will go viral. Everyone will listen to this one. It'll be crazy. This will be the biggest podcast I ever do. But South Florida Cows, man, like, is Golesh really the guy? If he didn't play football in college, wouldn't you rather, like, if all cards are out there and you're able to pick which one you want, wouldn't you rather have the guy who played college football formerly, who's an offensive guy, who's an offensive kind of genius, who has a quarterback on the roster he can bring with him and knows the area a lot more? I mean, I just think Eric Morris has so many things going for him comparatively, right?
Yeah, for all those reasons, I think it just makes so much more sense for Eric Morris. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what we do, but if we could somehow find him here in Stillwater and bring the quarterback with him, maybe some other talented players from that North Texas team, I think it could be much better. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, Alexi. Well, thank you so much here for joining me as my car basically almost dies here on the latest episode of the CGA Tour podcast. If you're not already, please follow, subscribe, like, all that type of good stuff here at the CGA Tour on Twitter, Instagram, and more. Alexi, can we get a good, solid go Pokes here to end out the podcast?
Let's do it. Oklahoma State basketball should be a fun season. Let's get excited. Hopefully we can make the tournament because those are my expectations now. This team will make the tournament. Book it, bookmark it. If you're an X person, come back here on March, 17th when they do Selection Sunday, and you're going to say, wow, those guys really said it. Oklahoma State's making the tournament. So go Pokes. It's time to get back on track. Let's go.
Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Today's episode is brought to you by Oakley Burklow, your go-to independent insurance agent and proud OSU alum. Oakley helps with home, auto, life, and business insurance, working with multiple top-rated insurance companies to find you the right coverage at the right price. Licensed in Oklahoma and Arkansas. Call 918-280-9068 or email oakley.burklow@connectmyinsurance.com. Personal service, honest advice, and a fellow Poke helping you protect what matters most.